This is the year 1996 when in faraway places of China, archaeologists in the area were given such a pyramid was found, which was actually built 1.5 lakh years ago, made by ancient people. This is beyond our imagination that, when electric current is in the 17th century, if it was invented, then someone millions of years ago, how to make an electric power plant. It's like the invention of petrol. First make a car or make a telephone. Before the invention of smartphones, today we are China. About 2 such discoveries made in only today's world will know what is possible. But actually, they were created thousands of years ago, was created first. We will talk Tibet Plateau. North of Himalayas is an autonomous region of China. The highest mountains in the world are located here. Because of this, it is often called the roof of the world, also called off the world, in 1937. An archaeological site in the mountains of Tibet, archaeologist who was Expedition Chipu was leading the tie there. 716 granite discs recovered from inside, most of which were buried inside the Gar. The diameter of each disc was 9 inches. These are 1 inch thick and have one. This disc had a perfect inch hole. After cleaning, it was found that those who don't understand anything at the edges, Kavad characters, are written on the stones. The characters were written about 12,000 years ago, went but only for the archaeologist. The disc itself did not become a source of surprise for them. Also, an advanced map of the stars inside looks like it was built, and some small-sized graves too inside, which there are tiny human-like creatures. The skeletons were buried, but their heads were in need. They were much bigger. What happened here? Had to learn it properly these 12,000 years. Decode characters written on old discs. It was very important to work hard for 20 years when this mystery could not be solved after handing over the stone to Professor Sum Noi. The given professor did research on these for 4 years from the tribes living in Tibet Plateau. Asked for help, and finally he found these characters, succeeded in decoding this writing. Some tribe living here for 12,000 years. Earlier, I had written about such an aircraft. It was mentioned that it came from the sky and crashed here. It happened that she survived the crash. It was also told about Makluk, whose Nam clan people mentioned drow. It was also written in these 716 discs that at first we hid in the garage out of fear, but then we realized that coming from the sky, Drow did not come here with any bad intentions. Couldn't go back and started settling here. Sum Noi did this research in 1962, published but no one said much about it. No attention given, same story after 6 years. Started spreading again, but this time Soviet scientists in the Soviet Union. When research was done on the discs, they found cobalt in them, and the quantity of other metals is quite high found, which is the largest in the world. These are hard metals present in graphite. Due to all the metals, the nature of the disc also was quite tough and used 12,000 years ago. With the help of these tools, it was not possible to do carvings after this. These stone discs are in China's Bapo Museum. In 1974, an Australian, when the engineer visited this museum to give them information about the stone, was refused, and then in 1994, when 2 German scientists saw this disc. If they visited this museum it was told that from the Chinese government, these discs have been destroyed. But the most important question was still the same, that if it was written on these stones 12,000 years ago, if the story was really decoded correctly, then what happened to Dopa, who escaped in 1937? When these stones were discovered, after the year, i.e. in 1938, this Tibet a survey was conducted in the area. There were 2 tribes here, whose races were inhabited by anthropology, other Chinese, Mongol, and found them quite different from Tibetan tribes. Skin, yellow sir, bigger than necessary, and there was very little hair on the body, while his height was 3 feet 6 inches to maximum 4 feet 7 inches, recorded almost as much as Ga. If there was a mill skeleton inside, now the question arises whether it survived 12,000 years ago. It is not the only breed of dopa that is going away today. Also, a clan in northern Tib Na Plateau. Those who cannot be scared remain, but it is called Drok Pa, but the height of these people. Dopa stone disc is like that of normal humans, present in any museum in the world today. Of course, there are carvings on them, and there is no evidence for the Dopa story, but 12,000 years ago on such hard stone, they can't do carvings with those tools, who could have been mentioned till date in human history, mentioned that apparently they have someone. There was definitely such a tool, which we also had an idea of. No, now let's talk about China only. A second discovery was made in 1996. Chinese archaeologist, 1.5 lakh years. An old pyramid-shaped mountain was found, the evidence within which indicates that this was the electric power of that time. The plant was, yes, China's king. High Mount, south of Lake Tusu in province. There is a mountain named Bagang. Inside this mountain there is where is the archaeologist surprised by this, under the hood of a taxing discovery, lots of iron pieces in the soil. There were also some strange shaped stones scattered around, were also seen lying down. Not only this. The twist in the story came when he was arrested. Pipes were seen going inside the mountain. It seemed that this person was just someone. It is not natural, but someone made it, and this mountain is also not actually a mountain. Rather, it is a pyramid which over time, the beginning is no longer in its original state. I find this whole scene very confusing. The scientist seemed as bygone as a mountain. As much as we try to know about Beijing raises a mountain of new questions when the Institute of Geology. After doing research on the pipes, it came to light that they were killed not 510, but 1.5 lakh years ago. Various sizes were made here. There were pipes, most of which had a diameter of 18 inches, while some pipes were the size of a grain of rice. There were small ones, and some were so big that even humans, science grains, can pass through it. Couldn't understand that, even from the Iron Age, millions, how these pipes were made years ago, who made these pipes, and why. There doesn't seem to be any specific purpose here. Was staying even though 260 feet away in Tu Lake. Some such pipes were seen in this Pipes Lake, both below and above the water level of. But some researchers believe that this pipes probably pumped water inside the pyramids. Majid was put on pipes to do. After doing research, it was found that in 30 was rusty, which supports this theory, proves that water from inside it used to survive now, because Tusu is a salt. There is a lake. Because of this, a theory suggests that it's pipes for electrolysis. Electrolysis was used. That the process is called when electric current is passed through water molecules, oxygen and hydrogen. If salt breaks down in this process, if put into electrolysis, the process becomes much faster because salt water is a better conductor, and there is already salt water in Tu's Lake. Electrolytic hydrogen can be very useful, especially it can also act as a fuel. Apart from this, silicone inside the pipes. Dioxide was also found, which normally occurs, and also calcium oxide, which is called quicklime. There are amazing materials, as if pressure is applied on the cords, then it piezo generates electricity. Experts say electric effect. Consider that out of 18-inch thick pipe the weight of the water that passes through. Remember, cords used to generate electricity. The pyramids of Egypt are also like this, a very large body of water. There are many aquifers in Giza. Pyramids also. Dust and metal pipes have been found from the place. famous scientist Nikola Tesla. Also, Warden Cliff is based on these principles. The tower was built using this advanced method. While doing this, Tesla believed that he was free. By generating electricity, it can be distributed to the world, can send to any corner. But when Tesla, to complete its project, were very close, so investors supported them, left empty and invested in oil. The quicklime that was found in Bagang's pie, it basically reacts with water to produce heat. Produces, but when water from it, if removed, it returns to its original condition, i.e. 1 in Mount Bagang, all evidence of existence of electricity plant. The pipes present in it were water pumps. Cords to do that. Electricity, it used to make electricity from water electrolysis of hydrogen and oxygen, used to separate quicklime, which used to generate pressure when mixed with water. This pressure exerts great pressure on the cords and generate more and more electricity. All these things could have led to more. Mint 1.5 lakh-year-old metal present in Bagang. It is not difficult to guess from the pipe that the very first humans in the world civilization existed. Their ways and their engineering techniques are quite advanced, which is now lost somewhere in history. Hope you guys also like this video of the world find. You guys will like and share a lot. Thank you very much.